welcome back to Stagey Bookish. How are you all? This video is not going to be an epically long one. It is not going to be a fun one to listen to, but it is an important one that I feel I want to, and need to do with everything that's going on in the world right now. I haven't planned this. I'm going to speak from the heart. But as you will know from what is going on in the world, the constant issues that the past couple of weeks have raised are that important that they do need to be discussed, that they do need to be addressed, and however uncomfortable they may make you feel, tough shit. And that is just what I want to do with this little video here today. Before I start, one thing I do want to say, you would have seen two videos posted on this channel last week, which was my May wrap up and my June TBR. I think I do actually reference in both of those. I filmed those actually at the end of May, before everything kind of exploded, for want of a better word. This is the thing, the horrors of pre-filming. In one way you're feeling you're getting yourself really organised, and in another way things happen in the world when you've pre-scheduled things and you don't know how to respond or take things down or who knows what. So just that is just so you're all aware from me. You all know what I'm here to talk about. And I think it's probably best to start like this. I know that even though in comparison to others, I have a very, very small platform when it comes to this channel, when it comes to my Instagram, that is not to diminish that in the fact that yes, I do have a small platform, but I also do have a platform where there is a few people out there who listen to the things I have to say. And that is why I wanted to come on today to do this video to talk about George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, the importance of what is going on and the change that in my eyes needs to happen. I think, yeah, like I said, I'm not really doing this scripted, so I'm trying to go from that. What you can't actually see in the background is I've got the news bulletin on from some of the riots, some of the, they're not riots, protests here in the UK. So let's start from the top. I am a white, cisgendered 35-year-old woman. I have been surrounded by white privilege my entire life. I may not have realised it, I may not have known it, but I have been surrounded by white privilege my entire life. I have been the recipient of white privilege. It has always done me well. That's just the way I was brought up, and I didn't know different. One thing I did know is that when I was at primary school, when I went to secondary school, and then when I kind of moved into the world of work and the world of education, I knew the people around me were different and had different coloured skins. It didn't bother me. They were just different, and that was cool. But it's only, particularly kind of since I've worked in education, probably the last 10 to 12 years or so, that this idea of systemic racism, I apologise if I'm not using any of these terms in the correct way, systemic racism has become more apparent to me. That has been because in the position I currently work and in the previous position that I was in for 8 years, I worked with students who were from majority Muslim backgrounds. That was in my previous job. I was students mostly from Muslim backgrounds, and in my current job I have a kind of a split between black students and students from Muslim backgrounds. I always remember when someone said to me when I started at my previous school that I knew it was in an area that was mostly lived in by Muslim families. Didn't bother me. I looked at the school. I had people actually come up to me and go, "Doesn't it bother you that it's a school full of Pakis?" And I went, "No, it doesn't." But it was kind of from then really that I kind of noticed it. And if I stop going off on a tangent, moving forward to kind of what's been happening in the past, I looked it up, past 2 weeks, madness, with everything that happened with the needless, horrific, horrendous murder of George Floyd and everything that has set off. Now, I am not here to tell you about Black Lives Matter. Like I said, white, cisgendered woman, 35 years old, always lived in the UK, and I'm surrounded by white privilege, even so till this day. But I felt I had to say something. I've seen so many people on social media use their platforms in the most amazing, stunning ways. People I know, people I don't know, people I respect, people I don't really respect. So some people, trust me, have gone down in my estimation hugely. And it was very much, to me, the idea that a lot of people saw silence as compliance. Now, I am fully aware that for some people, it's not that silence is compliance, it's that they are affected and they do want to speak, but they don't know how to speak. My girl Kerry over at Wheelie Stagey, she put out a fabulous piece earlier in the week about her and her own privilege. I'll link that down below if anyone wants to read it. And I was also inspired by the videos put out recently by Julie over at Pages and Pens and Chelsea over at Chelsea Palmer. For me personally, it's not about not wanting to speak, because I do want to speak, but I'm more of the fact, and I think Julie touched upon this, that I hate offending people. I don't like to be people like say something, that person who says something wrong and inadvertently offends people. I don't like to not know what I'm talking about. I'm a teacher. I'm trained as a teacher. I'm a librarian. I read, I learn. So for me, it's not been about not wanting to say anything. It's been me trying to know what I want to say and how I want to say it. And for now, this is what, as I say in the middle of a stream of consciousness video, this is what I want to say. For me, what I have been doing in the limited position that I have is that I've been sharing links. I have been signing petitions. I have been donating money where I can. I have been highlighting and amplifying the voices of Black authors and stories about Black people, not only negative stories but positive stories as well. But in amongst all of that I'm trying to do, I also recognise that although I do consider myself an ally, I'm nowhere near educated as I need to be. So I am also trying to take some time right now to get myself educated. I think of my students who I work with, and even though, you know, we've got kind of students in different backgrounds, I know as soon as they all get back in front of me, be it September, be it whenever, they are going to be talking about this. And I want to be able to engage them in conversations. I want to be able to challenge their thinking, because the way they've been brought up, it's not that they've chosen to be brought up that way, it's just they have. And that might not kind of match with the things that are going on in the world. I want to be able to make them think, because they are the generation that is going to have the long-term effect on what is happening in the world right now. And it is a good thing that's happening in the world right now, because it's time to stand up. I think of my brother-in-law, who is Black, and my sister-in-law and their 3 kids. I have 2 nephews and a niece with them. My stepbrother, I have niece and nephews with my stepbrother, but that's different. I think of my nieces and nephews, 2 boys and a girl. The oldest one is 12, I believe. And he said to me, I called him up, this was a while ago, I called him up and said, you know, how's school, how's everything? And he, in amongst the conversation, he turned around to me and said, she was having trouble making friends. And this was at the mouth of a 12-year-old, and this was months before this even carried on. He said, I'm not Black enough for the Black kids, I'm not Muslim enough for the Muslim kids, and I'm not white enough for the white kids, because my sister's white, my stepsister's white. That's a 12-year-old. The fact that at some point he not only is feeling that and kind of saying that himself, but also that his parents are going to have to have the conversation with him about staying safe and not looking at people wrongly when they go out on the street is beyond me. Beyond. I have other nieces and nephews who have Black parents or mixed race parents. It blows my mind. I'm rambling. I know I'm rambling. I'm sorry for rambling. Like I said, it's weird not knowing what to say about something like this. But just know, right now, you don't need to be hearing my voice on this platform. You need to be hearing the voices of black booktubers, black bookstagrammers, black authors, and people who are more kind of ensconced in this subject. So if you don't see at least my face in videos for a few weeks, you know why. If you are in a position to, like I have been, to sign petitions, to make a donation to anything that's going on right now, I will leave a massive list below. There's also a massive list over on my Instagram at StageyBookish. Please share, please spread the word, please talk to people. If you don't know why this is such a big issue, if you're not educated, like I acknowledge myself, I'm not educated nearly enough in this area. Please do not go to your black friends, family, colleagues, people on social media and ask them to educate you. Get off your backsides and do it yourself. Again, on Twitter, on my Instagram, on my YouTube, there's going to be things about amplifying black voices, both fiction and non-fiction, things that have been recommended to me just by friends, things that have been recommended to me by fellow librarians that they're going to look to get into this library. Educate yourself. Find out why this is so important. And just think, this is an opportunity to change the world right now. And it is important that we all stand together and make that happen. Because if we don't do it now, it's never going to happen. We are in the middle of a global pandemic and we've got politicians here in the UK going, basically, I don't care how important the matter is, don't go and protest, you'll spread the coronavirus. What stuck out to me was a guy who was on the news yesterday going, well, I'm a black man, who could get killed on the streets anyway, so why would I be scared of coronavirus? It's time to stand up, it's time to be recognised. I'm going to take more time to educate myself. I'm going to continue sharing links. I'm going to send some letters to my local MP and the local MP to where I work, because hopefully I'm going to send it on behalf of students and staff. And I want to amplify the voices that need to be amplified right now. I am aware for the past 12 minutes I've just sat here and talked to you and it's probably just been a stream of consciousness and had no sense whatsoever. But that's where my mind is at the moment. I hope you can take some time to reflect for yourself. I know I certainly have been doing a lot of that. I hope that you can use the resources out there to think about what's going on, to link to what's going on. Like, I'll put lots down in the description. There's loads over on my Instagram as well. It's time to think. It's time to act. And it's time to make a change. Be safe, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye.